How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The government shutdown is over. Michael Burry just quit. He just actually dissolved his asset management company right after he made a lot of noise for shorting NVIDIA and Palantir. We also have some big events happening within crypto, which no one's talking about right now because the price action has been so boring. Right? Bitcoin's at 100,000, but we just had a central bank buy Bitcoin. And we also had, we have a new spot ETF for a cryptocurrency that a lot of people love that's never had a spot ETF before. So let's talk about all this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, if you want to trade crypto, check out the link underneath the video. You can start trading on BYDeFi. Look at the link tree. Go down to my link tree. The second link down is for BYDeFi. We have this event that's got 2 days left. You can trade and get $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. So the more you trade, the more you earn just for trading on the platform. We've given away $40,000 in the past, and I think this is probably going to be $20,000 or $30,000 as well, maybe more. But if you want to sign up for this is for everyone that's ever signed up through my link. It's not just for new users, so that's something that's great about BYDeFi versus other platforms. You can trade there, and you can also trade crypto with crypto. For example, you have this Coin M feature. You can trade Bitcoin with Bitcoin as your collateral, or ETH with ETH, ADA with ADA. So if we go up, you get paid back in those coins, which is pretty awesome. Now let's roll the disclaimer. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. Do your own research. I'm never going to reach out to you either in the comment section or through any other means to try to get you to invest in something that I'm investing in or to send me crypto. Some links underneath the video are affiliate links. I may earn a commission, but this is at no extra cost to you. Of course, do your own due diligence. All right, Bitcoin is pretty boring here today, just under $101,000. The traditional markets are down as well, with the NASDAQ down nearly 2%. And this is on the news. This is on actually some news that a lot of people thought was going to be positive. I thought this was going to be pretty positive as well. The government shutdown is ending. Now, this is good in some ways, right? The economy is opening back up in the sense that there are, almost 1 million people. We'll look at the stats here in a second. 1 million people that had been furloughed that weren't getting paid. But it's also causing some concern for markets because the economic data that has been put off is now going to start coming out. The government borrowed $619 billion of debt during the 43-day government shutdown, $14.4 billion per day while the government was shut down. That's only one thing. There's only one thing that never stops in the U.S. government: deficit spending. That is crazy. Even when the government shut down, they're spending $15 billion a day in debt, I guess. So just absolutely nuts. Looking at the final stats, 5 million airline passengers delayed or canceled. We'll get to the crypto-specific stuff in a bit, but the 5 million airline passengers delayed or canceled. I've heard that there's going to be like a month before things are caught up, maybe more. 619 billion in new federal debt. Federal statistics system permanently damaged. October jobs and inflation data may never be released. We just heard that today. 43 days of economic data is currently delayed. 750,000 federal workers were furloughed, and the current funding bill only reopens the government through January 30th. So there's going to be a round 2 possibly. Just crazy. This is why a lot of people feel like they need to put money into Bitcoin, because there's going to be more stupidity in the government, and they don't want to put their hard-earned energy and value in a dollar that is consistently inflated by the incompetence of the government. Inflated with inflation, but deflated in the purchasing power. Moving on from that, so the market most likely down on, possibly some new data coming out. There's uncertainty. People are kind of scared over what could come out. But if we get decent data, I think the markets will probably pop back up. And this is overall good that the government's not shut down anymore, but maybe causes some short-term concerns. Michael Burry officially deregistered his fund Scion Asset Management. He had previously announced short positions in Palantir and NVIDIA. Some people, a lot of the, like CNBC, a lot of the TV organizations were saying that He had like a $912 million put position on Palantir. He pointed this out that because their options, they were off by 100x. It was like a $9 million put. But this is what he said. With a heavy heart, I will liquidate the funds and return capital, but for a small audit and tax holdback by year's end. My estimation of value in securities is not now, nor has it been for some time, in sync with the markets. With heartfelt thanks, but also with apologies, I wish you well in the future investments. So basically, it sounds like he has been frustrated that his value of the market and the market itself has been disjointed for so long. And he has been someone that's called for a lot of downturns, right? From 2019 saying that indices were overvalued to 2023 saying just sell on Twitter. Maybe it was 2022, basically marking the bottom of the bear market. He's been wrong a lot. There have been some times where he's been correct, and he made a lot of money in 2008, but his timing was off then. If you've ever seen The Big Short, the movie, you'll know that like it drove him crazy because investors called day after day after day, and they were losing significant amounts of money while the trades weren't going in their favor. And eventually they paid off, but I believe he already dissolved his investment fund before they reversed. And I think he made money himself, but I'm not sure if he made money for other investors. I think something very similar is happening here, where he's been wrong about the market for years, and he just probably gets called all the time and has to deal with people all the time that maybe are pissed off that they're not getting a 30% return in markets, and he might actually be burning money, losing money, and eventually he'll probably be right. There will be a downturn, and recently he pointed out that a lot of the big tech companies are showing depreciation over a longer period of time for their chips, which causes their earnings to be inflated. So he pointed that out as an issue, but the market still buys these companies over and over and over and over. They're going to continue to pull in large amounts of capital, and the stock prices are going to go up for Amazon, Meta, Google over the long term. So I understand maybe why he's so frustrated. It is interesting to see him dissolve the fund, but this was just a short period of time after people were talking about the biggest, him taking out the biggest short position that they've seen in years, although a lot of those numbers were off. Now, it's easy just to look at the general market and think that there's nothing happening in crypto, nothing good happening in crypto because Bitcoin's just at 100,000. Keep in mind, too, a year ago, we weren't even at 100,000. We had never hit 100,000, and now this is like a bearish price. So it's just kind of interesting how quickly things change. Over a year, people go from like wishing 100,000, like partying at $100,000 Bitcoin, to now being like in despair, wondering if this is the bear market. But there are things that are still happening. There's still news. It's just that people aren't really paying attention to it. Social numbers are way down right now. People don't really care about what's happening. But the Czech central bank just bought $1 million worth of Bitcoin in crypto. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, this would have been insane news. Remember, El Salvador was a major talking point last cycle. So seeing a European central bank buying Bitcoin, putting it on their balance sheet, no matter how small, that would have been headline news for a month. Michael Saylor says Bitcoin will surpass gold's market cap by 2035. Right now, gold's market cap is nearly $30 trillion. Bitcoin's is about 2. So that puts Bitcoin around $1.4, $1.5 million at today's prices, which is kind of a mistake people often make, is just saying that Michael Saylor is saying now that Bitcoin will surpass gold's market cap. So it'll be $1.4, $1.5 million. Keep in mind, gold's not stagnant. It will continue to go up, most likely. Let's say it goes up 5% a year for 10 years. That puts it around $47.7 trillion, which sounds crazy by today's standards, but keep in mind, gold's gone up, like 60% this year. So this would put Bitcoin closer to $2.4 million. That's a nice return. 24x in 10 years. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think a lot of people would be quite happy with that. And Michael Saylor says basically there's no doubt in his mind it will be past that. So he's not even saying that we'll be at parity with gold. He's thinking probably will be past that. And another piece of good news, the first US spot XRP ETF went live. It's XRPC. So with this news, you would think that XRP would be up a lot. It's up 3% in the last 24 hours, which isn't bad considering most of crypto's down a little bit, but still not that exciting. You know, a year ago, if this came out, back when Trump was in office and XRP was racing up, back when Trump was voted into office, like this would be a 20% day, 30% day for XRP. Now it's a 3% day. So there's just not a lot of general excitement. I don't think we're going to see a lot of excitement in crypto until maybe the broader markets start moving back up again, and until there's a little bit more clarity with what's happening in economic data and what's happening in the economy in general. The Fed is lowering rates, though. They're ending quantitative tightening. They've said this before. I think now they have even more firepower to want to lower rates. There's some uncertainty. The Fed Rate Monitor tool is actually showing a lower chance of them cutting at the next meeting. I think that's just because we haven't gotten economic data in general. I don't know if they get economic data. I would assume they would still get some economic data, but who knows, what's being collected. So more uncertainty. But with Bitcoin down 20% from all-time highs, I don't think it's the worst time to dollar cost average. But of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I did a video yesterday going through why no one wants to buy and why actually you should be buying most likely. If you want to accumulate more Bitcoin, why now is a good time to be buying. So if you want to see that video, you can go to my channel. It's just yesterday's video, one of the videos from yesterday. So check that out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you want to check out BYDeFi or BTCC or Bitnext Weeks Blowfin, there are links in the link tree. And you can join me on Telegram too, in case I get kicked off YouTube, which has happened to me in the past and is happening to more and more people now. You can join my Telegram just in case. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all soon.